Welcome. Taking it to the know. Today, I have a special, very special guest on today. Different than what I normally have. A lot of times I get different other cigar celebrities, people that own brands. We've done people that make movies. Today, I have somebody who has started their own online cigar business, and you're gonna love what we've got to talk about today. I'd like to introduce you to Gustavo F. Placeres. Gustavo, welcome to the show. Okay, there you are. All right. How you doing today, Gustavo? Nice to see you again.
Good evening. Great to see you, Jimmy. Thank you for having me on. It's a incredible pleasure. It's been a long time coming. I've been watching you for ages. And like, gosh, one day, I'm gonna catch up with that guy, even if he is a Boston fan.
Wow. You know, my Boston Red Sox have kind of gone in the gutter a little bit, so.
Hey, well, I can't
happen.
It's not my fault. You're not a Yankee fan. What do you want me to tell you?
Yankees will always surge. They always do it this time of the year. So I called it. I said it. It happened, and it's happening.
Cheers to you.
What are you drinking today?
I'm giving you help. I'm having a 12-year Flor de Caña.
Nice.
With just a little bit of good old American Coca-Cola.
All right. And I got a 2020 Malbec here from Mendoza, California. No, Mendoza,
Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah, Mendoza. Yes. There's only, well, there may be more than one Mendoza, but the Mendoza that I know is right across the river from where I was born.
Across from where you were born, huh? So you're from Argentina?
I'm from Uruguay, right across the river, like I said.
Wow. So you guys friendly countries? You play together nice?
The thing is this, it's the same people. It can be, depending on who you ask.
Yes. So
it's the same people, depending, you know, that's that part.
Like Queen, it's like being in Brooklyn and Manhattan, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, some minor differences. The thing is that it's the same, that region is very known. The River Plate region is very known for this certain characteristics of that region only. And it can be argued that, you know, like certain Argentinians from especially Buenos Aires can say, we gave you a little piece of land. And it's been a few years of that back and forth. But the honest truth is that it's the same people. We have some differences in speech and culture, but all in all, we get along, except when we're on the what's real football, when we're on the football field.
Oh, wow, when you're.
Then all bets are off, your head's coming off and we're breaking your legs.
Yeah.
In essence, that's what Uruguay is.
So, GFP Cigars. The topic of the discussion today is GFP, which is named after yourself. And if I did my research correctly, you're kind of celebrating 1 year almost today when you filed your papers in the state of Florida, I think it was.
Correct. We are approaching 1 year. How we came up with GFP was that every name that I could possibly think of in the dictionary was already taken. And at the end of the day, I said, you know, it's going to be, you know, I thought about, you know, Little Gomez, which also, by the way, grew up in Uruguay, being of Spanish descent, and along with a lot of other Spaniards and Italians that grew up in that region. LFD means La Flor Dominicana. I said, you know what? I'm going to be done with looking for names. I'm going to use my name. I'm going to put my ass on the line. It's my initials. At the end of the day, people are going to remember what what our service is, how we treat people, what our product is, and that's how we started.
So what is GFP Cigars?
We started, I've been smoking 35 plus years. And I had the impulse, urge, push, if you will, mid-pandemic August of 2020. And that was, I was passionate about cigars. I consider myself to have a great palate, no diploma behind my head, nothing to say that you're a, certified, professional as it relates to cigars or anything like that. But I have a darn good palate. And with cooking, with wine, with coffee, with things like that, and it never failed me. And I had the push to start the business. I didn't know which way to start. I had no idea. I had, a few people in the beginning that really shed a lot of light. And I didn't know a lot, if anything, about the cigar business per se, but I knew business, being in business 35 plus years in a totally different field, which is the real estate field. And that's how we started. I looked at what was going on online. I saw what was happening, obviously, across, not only across the world, but here in the States. And I figured that the easiest and the path of least resistance would be to start online. And then I looked at everything that was happening online as it relates to cigars. And I put myself into the purchaser's situation, as I am. And I looked at what was available, and I've always been intrigued by boutique cigars. And I was watching the growth, if you will, of all these new brands, new factories, new injection into the Cuban world, new world cigars, and watching that, I said, look, how am I ever going to be able to make a foothold in this incredible business that so many people have so much deep pockets with, and make a difference? So the natural, call it what you will, but the guidance I had from above, from God, from whatever you want to call it, for me it was God. That's my personal thing. Was the boutique stuff, which I really was always intrigued by. And I started focusing on that, started looking for cigars that were, not just the grand old greats that we all know and enjoy and smoke. And I started focusing on that, and one thing led to the next. And, we went down that path, found a lot of great boutique cigars. And that still takes place today.
So now 35 years smoking cigars, and is it coincidental that you launched GFP in the middle of a pandemic, or was that planned 2-3 years beforehand that you're going to go launch GFP?
When I say that it was a complete impulse, if that's, I'm trying to think of the clearest way to say it. It's not that 3 years before I was like, you know what, I'm going to start a cigar business. It wasn't like that at all. It just happened one day that, I really like cigars. And the more I would look at you, the more I would look at all these other online groups and podcasts. And it's like, and a few that I saw that oh, I can do better than that. It just pushed me to like, all right, what do I need to do? And I took the steps to start. That's really how it began. Not knowing anyone in the industry per se, knowing something about the industry, having a really, in my humble opinion, a good palate of what I think a good cigar is and what it is, what it's made up of. I just started taking the steps, and I've had a few people that have shed the light, and here we are today. And that's those stepping stones continue to work that way, and here we are.
Now, in a year, so you make this come together. It's been about a year since you've launched this. Let me just share something here. Okay. So this is your site, and you've got a lot of cigars on your site. Some of them are sold out, but I'm going to say that when you started this, do you have like a big ass humidor or storage area for all of this? Do you just buy a box of it? How did you do this? I mean, what did you fill out to get all of your stock in doing a site like this?
So if you click on
Samplers.
and that becomes a whole lot more standard. What happened is this. So to answer your question is no, I didn't have any of the above. Initially, when we started, it was okay. Different feedback and different requests from different brands, a bunch of which were extremely responsive and supportive. We didn't go in initially asking for credit or a bunch of boxes and I'll pay you late. It wasn't none of that. It was, and I don't know that right now is the right moment to name who they are. Perhaps if you think I should, I can. But there were a few of them like that were extremely supportive. And what happened was, before even we got to those brands that you see on the samplers, again, I asked myself, how can we make a difference on, okay, I have this box of cigars, but XYZ company is selling them for $50, $60 less than I can. So how am I going to make a difference? So what happened was I went and I got factory smokes, artisans, and a few brands that were, maybe not the huge brands, but what happened was I started to grab one cigar from here, one cigar from there, one cigar from here, one cigar from there. I'll make a 5-pack, I'll make a 10-pack, I'll make a 15-pack. Now, good luck finding that at your neighborhood store, right? So that's how I figured that I could make a difference. Now, that said, in us supporting the boutique smokes in that way, the response is even greater. I still support brick and mortar. I don't want to be categorized into you're not brick and mortar. There's a dividing line right now for a while now, not just now, that says this is brick and mortar and this is what's happening online. Especially with what happened with COVID, there was really no other way. If you have a passion like I do, like you do, to be able to start a business that you're passionate about, when you can't open a brick and mortar under those circumstances, beyond your control. And not just talking about financial capabilities or what have you, but I wanted to start a business then, damn it. And this is the only way I can do it. Somebody is going to be able to benefit, and that's what I'm after. By the way, we also have, and it's growing, brick and mortars that we have their cigars and we sell them online. So some of those brick and mortars, for whatever reason, have not caught on to what's going on. And I relate this to what happened in 2008.
So hold on, let me just get a clarification from you on that. So some of what you sell is actually from brick and mortars that provides them kind of a presence, an online presence.
Absolutely.
Through GFP.
Absolutely.
And there's an arrangement between you and the shop to help move those cigars there.
Absolutely. If you look, absolutely. Because if you look online and you look of a few that we just looked at, I'm not the first place we saw them. And the curve within those brands, a lot of, and I smoke all of them before I put them online. I don't care if we know them, we don't know them, if they're famous, they're not famous. I smoke everything before I put them online because I want to be known for something. and I want to be known for when that customer gets that cigar, they're going to fall within a certain parameter of what I think is enjoyable. So they can go to that website for, I mean, pick anyone you want, and you can go to within a few of them. Maybe Cavalier is not selling direct to consumer. Okay. And by the way, Sebastian Decopet is an absolute gentleman, and I'm so happy to carry his cigars. He's fantastic. The distributors at Illusione, fantastic. One of the brands and one of the companies has given me an incredible open line to do what we want to do. So if you see Karen Berger, let's go ahead and name it. She was one of the first people that, till this day, I don't get any, what do you need? It's coming tomorrow. What do you need? It's coming tomorrow. What do you need? It's coming tomorrow. That was since day one. You can go to Karen Berger. Now, what I was starting to say is that a lot of these brands are now not only selling to what used to be, we only sell to distributors, brick and mortars, what have you. They're selling direct to consumer now online. So you may ask yourself, okay, well, how do you compete with that, GFP? Why are they going to go to you instead of going with direct to them? Well, that's for me to work on.
Mm.
That's for me to work on.
Right. And you have your own marketing method. I love your videos you put out. You're very professional. You open the box. You explain to people what's in the box. You walk through the whole process. The only thing I miss from you is having maybe when you smoke that cigar, if you're going to put it on your site, just to have your own, maybe a short set of notes that you feel you get. This is Gustavo's notes. You get this. You don't have to be a lot. It's nutty and sweet and spicy, but your take on that cigar, short and sweet, would add a little more to that site, I think. Because if you smoke every one, then might as well just say, your little description would be great, because if people don't know the cigar, right? And not everybody knows all the cigars that are on your site. I probably do. There are other people that may, but somebody goes there the first time and they saw you on a video, popped up, and they've been following you, and all of a sudden they go on your site and they're like, well, what is it? What is this K by Karen? Okay, it looks nice, but what is it? Right?
Point well taken.
Does it fit my palate or not?
Point well taken. I will.
Be a good thing to do.
I will take that as constructive criticism, and I will implement more. What happens? Here's why I don't go. There's people that are able, and I've got a very good friend, an attorney in Pennsylvania that is renowned in his description of tobacco and how patient he is in doing so. My problems are this: ADHD, OCD, and patience. I'm like, hey, I love this cigar. Go buy it. Don't give me any shit. Okay, so if I say it's good, you can take it to the bank. That is, I'm exaggerating. So I will take your criticism in a positive way, and I'll try to do more in that. But what happens is, when you start getting folks like, oh, I'm getting, upside down pineapple cake here, and then it's like, God, I've never tasted Earth. No, I can't that I can remember. I'm sure I have a couple of fist fights behind the school back in.
Yeah, right.
I tasted Earth a couple times, but I don't want to remember.
You played baseball?
Yeah.
Did you bite the leather thing on your baseball mitt when you were a kid?
No, I didn't.
I always bit on that. I don't
know. But you understand what I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not the guy that sit here and denote all the notes. By the way, if I want to do that, I can get a lady to do it. You know why? Because I just found out. Well, who knows? 35 years smoking, I didn't know women have more taste buds than men. You know that?
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they have a much.
So if I want to Anyway, women are a very important part of this business, and that's why I brought it.
Absolutely.
So I don't go into that much detail because you know what, regardless of what you say, I will always say that these are notes that I get. I get wood, I get coffee, maybe some chocolate, and that's it. I'm not getting earth, I'm not getting leather, I'll get spice. The spice is a real easy one, right? I'm a little bit of a caveman. I either like it or I don't like it. But that
So
said,
do you get savory? Do you detect savory spice like an umami, a meaty, kind of like charred meat type of?
no, see, I eat red hot chili. My wife is Nicaraguan. But before her, I was chewing red hot chili peppers and habaneros and serrano peppers, part of my diet. So I don't know how much this, how true I'm going to be when I say I'm detecting, this guy. It's either spicier or not. A lot of Nicaraguans, especially when you start them out there, a little spicy, they hit you a little bit and then they dissipate, whatever. But so I don't go into that much detail.
All right. Let me give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the show today. Then when we come back, we'll dig a little more into GFP Cigars and where you think it's going and how it's been performing. So today's show, is brought to you by El Chan Cigars. El Chan Cigars is a dream come true for husband and wife Gabby El Chan and Liz. They want all hands that work the tobacco leaf in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call it La Joya del Chan because they cultivate part of their product, and at some point, they want to be able to supply the world with their native tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those who work the tobacco leaf, and for this, they deserve a portal that represents them.
What's going on?
They like to thank everybody for supporting their country, Puerto Rico. They like to say, we will resist. You could follow La Joya del Chan at www.lajoyadelchan.com and El Chan Cigars on Instagram and Facebook. Today's show is also brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars.
This business, bro.
Nova Cigars is
I'll be down in
a
a minute.
family-owned and operated premium cigar company.
You should let me know.
Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather, to always remember him and the infinite passion for the finest of cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for an exquisite experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. Check them out at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And if you use the code Boston Jimmy 15, Boston Jimmy with an IE, you will get 15% off on their site. Today's show is lastly brought to you by Arizona Cigars. Arizona Cigars, they do it with passion. And that's not just a term. Arizona premium handmade long leaf cigars are each rolled to the highest quality by masterful rollers. Each hand that touches the process takes pride in the quality and craftsmanship of every cigar that goes into every box at Arizona. So next time you're looking for that fine smoke, do it with passion and reach for Arizona. You can follow Arizona Cigars on Facebook and Instagram and visit them at www.tarizonacigars.com. I'd like to thank my sponsors. Without them, this show is always a little bit harder to do. All right, so GFP Cigars. In a year, did you meet or exceed your goals?
The honest truth is that we've exceeded our expectations, and I'll say it this way: we've exceeded the expectations, never thinking about what our, net dollar was going to be given, 365 days. And the way we've exceeded is that we've exceeded the amount of positive and great feedback and support that we've gotten for being so new in the business has been absolutely overwhelming. So if you ask me, do you consider that you are succeeding or you're failing? I would 1000% say we are succeeding. Now, the other side of that is the bottom line and the financial side of it. Right now, I'm not worried about it. Right now, we're doing more than I ever thought we would. But without the relationships, the friends that we've made, none of it will be possible. So that has opened up possibilities well beyond my expectations when we first started, and it paints an incredibly positive future, and that's what keeps me excited about it and gets me up every day. It's phenomenal, and I could elaborate on that for hours.
Now, is this your full-time thing now, or do you do something else besides GFP?
I have two other businesses, and they're both real estate related, and it is my wish and dream and expectation that eventually this will be what we do full time. Now, you can say, okay, so how many hours are you dedicating? This is a full time thing. I'm not into it, a few hours a day. This is, no business grows without a lot of attention to it and a lot of effort. It doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen just by pure luck. You need to actually work it. And I work this business every day to the best of my ability.
Yeah, the passion that you have to put in to running a business or doing anything you love, even if you're working for a living, working for somebody else, you got to be passionate about it. Otherwise,
and you just said it, the love and the passion, that is, could I say, look, can you stop everything else that you're doing and now live off of this? I don't know. If I had to, I would. If I was put in that situation, yeah, I'm not in that situation right now. If I had to, I absolutely would. And that's why we're going to Nicaragua. That's why we're meeting with people that we're meeting with. Our focus has always been initially starting out looking for boutique cigars that are not available around the corner at every place. Where do you get these? I never knew. I never saw these. I never tried them. My tobacco doesn't have it. What happened? It started from that. It started from that, and it's grown into that continuum. But also now, now we're finding we have a 1-year anniversary cigar coming out mid-September, late September.
I was going to ask you, you're coming out with your own GFP cigar.
It's correct, and already working on the next. So if there's a few references that I can give of people that do that now currently. You've obviously seen the 5-packs, the 10-pack bundles, the butcher paper from companies like Arturo Fuente and on and on and on and on, right? So I want to continue to be that guy that goes out, looks for great tobacco, that says, hey, we've got this many of them. Here you go at it, have fun. If we run across an opportunity where we can have our core line and start a core line based on one of those findings, and so be it. But until that happens, we're going to continue to look. We're going to continue to bring them together, package it, make it available, and on to the next. I like the idea of when you go to a restaurant, which I love to do, is you go and you sit down and the chef comes out and he'll tell you this and that of what's available. And you say, you know what? Do what you like to do. Take care of us tonight. We're here. I like that. I love that. I love
I
that.
do too.
Right? Give me the wine that you like. Give me the champagne that you want. Treat me like family, and I'm happy.
I don't want the menu. You go.
That's it.
Your best.
That's it. That's it.
I'll eat whatever you give me. And I've done that, and you're absolutely right. There's nothing better than sitting in a restaurant and telling the waiter, take this away. Can I talk to the owner or the chef and just say, hey, just make me whatever you would eat. And it doesn't even have to be something on the menu. You know, these guys can create all kinds of fun stuff.
I love the kitchen. My grandmother was a chef. I was in the I was in the restaurant business from a very young age, and I've always loved that aspect of things. I don't have a 100, 150 year, 50 year, 75 year trajectory of lineage from a Cuban family that were farmers that went to roller, that became rollers, I don't have that. So what do I hang my hat on? What I hang my hat on is I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about cigars. I understand the process and the hard work and the benefit that we enjoy every single day, and the sacrifice of what it takes for us to have this, and in turn provide for all those people that work so hard in all different kind of countries and conditions, and some very difficult conditions sometimes, that puts food on the table, kids in school, clothes on their back, and a roof over their head. And that is my passion, and that's what I bring to this industry. And I'm going to continue to look for situations like that of cigars that we can enjoy. That's what I hang my hat on. And I'm artistic that way.
I never asked you in the beginning, what are you smoking?
Y Picarrillo, La Historia Doña Elena.
That was one of my first #1 cigars I rated. Okay. When that came out, I was blown away by that cigar. I've smoked boxes of that cigar. I just
Fantastic.
Enjoy it. It's consistent. It's not overpriced. It's a pleasurable cigar. I'm actually smoking the Liga Privada H99, and I'm wearing a barn smoker hat because right now, if it wasn't for this repeat of 2020, I'd be up in Connecticut having a good time at the barn smoker for the first time in Connecticut. But
let's hope and prayers for everyone that has experienced loss and hardship as a result of this pandemic that we're all experiencing.
Absolutely.
Prayers for everyone. It's not to be taken lightly. So, you know, we can go into so many aspects of cigars that we can be here for ages and ages and ages. And I think that as long as we have the passion, if you're passionate about anything, you're going to find a way, or you should find a way to bring continuity and to bring it to people, because it's a lot of people out there that just don't have an idea. They're caught on one brand or one vitola or one style or one wrapper, and there's a whole world evolving here.
And that's the way it used to be. I mean, you're about my age, right? I mean, yeah.
I'm a little younger, but it's okay.
You're probably a little younger than me.
I'm messing with you. I'm 56.
You know? Yeah, you're, like I said, you're a little younger than I am. But I remember back, I started smoking cigars in 1977, right? And they're really, I started with the shittiest cigars in the world. But once I discovered the real stuff, right, there wasn't a lot of selection like there is today. You didn't walk into a uniform and be like, wow. It's like a candy store. My go-to was a Hoya de Nicaragua Excalibur. I freaking love that cigar, right? And that was my cigar. And that's what like you said, I would go in, I'd buy that at a box, I'd come home and I'd smoke those cigars, right?
You remember Puros Indios back in the 90s?
Yeah.
What a freaking great cigar that was, man.
Cigar. I need to do an article on.
They're back, right? They're back, but I'm scared to try them again because they changed right about, I don't remember what year, but at a certain point they changed. Like, oh, I don't know, but they were one incredible cigars. Like I used to buy them religiously.
I remember when like my father hit the scene, and Cigar Aficionado just hit the scene, and then my father was this thing, and everybody was talking about my father's cigars. And I guess I got to try one of these. That was a shift. I was like, wow, this is good. And then there were other things started showing up back in that boom in the 90s, right? It was like, wow, check this out. Then that's when you really started expanding if you really wanted to. And I got to hand it to a lot of the up and coming new cigar enthusiasts that really are behind the boutique lines, especially, right? They really want to try these new things.
It has to happen.
These young new companies, because my father was a young company. Lito was these guys were all at one point were small companies that did great things, and they are where they are today because they built a business around this and were able to market it.
If I had any smarts in this whole thing, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but if I had any inkling of what to focus on when we first started, that vision came from above and it was the right one. And I will 100%, for as long as I can perceive. So my daughter Sophia may have a different vision further along. I have a 3-year-old daughter, 3.5-year-old, excuse me.
Wow, God bless you.
It will always be to support the boutique brands and the not so giant brands that are out. We smoke them all. I appreciate them all. I have utmost respect for all, Arturo Fuente, on and on, Padron, all of them, right? We smoke them all. We 100% respect. But the boutique brands need to be shared, they need to be enjoyed, and they need to be supported 100%.
And they grow.
That will never change. Because
you look at like a company, I'll give you a great example of a company in the last 5-6 years that came on the map, and just with all the passion and the energy behind building a brand, Southern Draw, Robert and Sharon Holt, the amount of time he spends on the road doing what he did, he grew a brand that was small and tiny that now makes millions of cigars a year.
That's all it takes. And here's a secret. It's not a secret. When companies like GFP and these other, well, I don't know how many of us there are out there. There are a few. Liga Privada, by the way, excuse me. Liga Privada. Okay. Shout out, praise, and I'm on board with them 100%. I think what they're doing is fantastic. And it's exciting to see. To name one, we have others. We've got, we've got El Principio from Geronimo Cigars, partners with GFP, fantastic. Okay, young guys, I'm talking millennials, okay, that are in the game, in a big way. Happy to be partners with them, friends with them. And what happens is, for a company like us, that now we say, okay, we've got all these brands. By the way, we started with unknowns. We started with factory smokes and some artisans from here and there that I smoked. That I say, this one's good, this one's not good. This one's good, this one's not good. This one's good, this one's not good. We're going to sell these. We're not going to sell those. That has grown into, okay, the boutiques. We smoke them. We enjoy them. We guess what happens when we say, okay, well, now, GFP is coming out with the 1-year anniversary that was hell to find. It's a small amount of cigars that are available. We don't have an incredibly large following. We've got a group of maybe 475 people in the group, right? Hopefully, as a result of this video, that will blow up. And then, I got my dues to pay with you, and my, I have to support you.
I would love to see that happen.
What happens is this is one industry that supports each other in a way that people like Jeffrey Amendola, like Southern Draw, like, I can go on and on. that will say, hey, you know what? Like protocol, like, right? That will, when you come out, they don't have a problem saying, hey, I'm smoking. This is what I'm smoking. Go smoke it. Enjoy it. It's amazing. There's not many industries that I can think of that do that. And the same way we support those boutiques, when in turn you go and start embarking on, if you would, into that kind of a business model, and we expect that we're going to get the same support. AJ Fernandez, on and on, on and on.
And would you say that as you grew this, from the small guys, and you got some of the bigger guys that you're working with and cigar shops?
I'll touch on that in a second, but I'll answer your question first.
They've embraced you to a level to help you move forward.
What happens is this: in that embrace initially of how we started in our business model of focusing on boutiques, we needed, in my opinion, we needed okay, so you got this and that. We never heard of them. What do you got that I know? Okay. We got this one. We got this one. We got Tobacco Woman of the Year. We got AJ Fernandez. We got, we're going down the line. Because why? Because one, I enjoy and support those brands that are fantastic, like the one I'm smoking right now, the EP Carrillo. What the hell? Needs no introduction. Right? So we have access to those that you can buy. You can buy here, you can buy them anywhere you like. So it gives us, some credit, some credentials, some credibility. And that is, two of the brands that you just showed tonight. Arizona, we've reached out to, we're going to have them. Nova, we're going to have them. Boutique brands, albeit, but we also have other larger brands because it gives us a little bit of credibility that we need to have. And not only that, because they deserve it. They're great brands. We smoke them. I smoke them. You smoke them. What the hell? Why should we not have them? Right? But we will continue to always focus on the boutique brands and bring in great stuff out. Steve Saka as a point of reference and what he does. I think it's fantastic. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever you think, whatever. Frankly, I don't care. I think the guys.
I don't think he cares either.
Right, exactly, and he shouldn't. Puts out all these cigars, and we can go on down the line. We can go to Christian Arroyo. We can go to Mombacho's guy that just branched out with Cinque Terre. On and on and on and on and on. It never ends. So I want to be a part of that mix.
Now, when you've now that you've grown this, I imagine you've been measuring the metrics. Where would you say your consumer base lies? I mean, are they lying in cities that have brick and mortars, or are you getting them from places that maybe they don't have brick and mortar near them? What, do you have an understanding of where your customer base resides in this country? Are there price states that, what?
So we've hired an IT team in Pakistan that is much younger, much smarter, and have much more patience than I to do things that I don't know how to do, don't have the patience to learn or the aptitude. And what we've been told is that it comes to a certain point of, and time and amount of money required to get X results. I would say that a lot of it has been through social media and the organic growth, and then from there, things have sprouted, in a very grassroots sort of way.
Okay. Now,
so I don't have all the answers.
Now, if I was living in New York or California and I buy something from your,
if you were living in New York, if you were living in California, I'd tell you to move it. If you were living in New York, I'd say, I love you too, but you probably need to move as well.
But come on down to the tobacco cigar friendly. But if I was living in California and I got on GFP and I ordered a sampler pack, do you charge me California tax, or is that up to me? How does that work?
It's up to you. And
It's up to the consumer to make good with the statement.
correct. We've gone into Israel, we've gone into South America, we've gone into Switzerland, we've gone into Canada, we've gone into the UK.
Oh, very cool. So shipping cigars to Canada is not a problem?
There's
I'm asking for a friend because I got to send some stuff to a friend of mine up in Toronto. And
I'll tell you what, I'll send you the cigars and you deal with your friend in Toronto.
he would tell me, he goes, you can try, but they get stopped at the border a lot. You know, they check this stuff. And I mean, they're a tough country to deal with when it comes to tobacco and cigars.
Well, I don't have any legal I can't give legal advice or shipping advice or anything like that, or as it relates to, you know, taxes or import or anything. I'm not qualified to do so. We have a distribution company that handles all of our stuff like that, and it's all them what they do.
Well, that's smart. That's smart. Let me take a quick break. Do on a quick what's new and news and reviews on Stogie Press. We'll come back. We'll close things out with a little bit of a quick lightning round and get ready for it.
Ready.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. So in news and reviews on Stogie Press this week, we put out 2 reviews this week. The first is from Carolina Blue Cigars.
Hey, let me 5 minutes, I'm done.
Let me mute you. Hey, Gustavo,
what the hell's wrong with
can you mute yourself?
We're hanging out. We're gonna play. Relax. I had to do this.
Gustavo, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself for a minute?
Why the hell you gonna? We're gonna hang out. Relax, man. Go ahead.
Gustavo,
Gustavo, can you? Girls. I can't fuck around.
Gustavo, can you mute yourself?
Sí, vos también, cerote.
Can you mute?
I'm almost done, bro.
Can you mute yourself?
Hey, mira, te traje puta buena caña. What the fuck? Give me the shit. No idea.
Hold on. Gustavo, I'm gonna mute you. I had to mute you for a second so I could do this. All right, so cigar news and reviews. So South Carolina Blue Cigars, their limited edition Solomon, came in with a 91 rating on this one. This is a very well constructed Solomon. These are $12. They come in a box of 20. They made a Tabacalera El Punte in the Dominican Republic. It's got a San Andreas wrapper, an Ola Dominicano binder, and a Dominican Ligero Viso and Seco filler. Nice cedar and citrus peel notes on this, some cocoa, a little bit of floral and fruit came through, had a nice natural sweetness with a background of nut, touch of spice, and what definitely was a little woody. It was medium in complexity overall though, but a lot of those notes are aromatic notes that kept shifting. I was very pleasantly surprised with the amount of aromas that were coming off of this. Burn-wise, had an absolutely beautiful burn. Right up, take the band off, keep it going, drop the ash. It is just kept going right after that. So fabulous cigar. I really enjoyed this. 2 hours smoke, by the way. Had some points taken off for a little mild jag. It was a little pasty on the palate to start, but that kind of faded after the first inch or so. So an extreme ash. So a good solid 91 for Carolina Blue limited edition. The second one we looked at again was the Platinum Nova Mirage. Platinum Nova Mirage is part of the core line of Platinum Nova. This one came in at a 93. This one's made by Edna Nova Cigars factory in the Dominican Republic. This is an $18 cigar, comes in a box count of 12. It did start a little bitter, but it was that bitter kind of cocoa-y note to it. So I didn't really go too crazy on that, but then it definitely settled into these fantastic flavors, caramels and cashews. These notes just kept coming at me, and I really enjoyed this nougat flavor that I get once in a while, and also the cream and cashew and vanilla just played beautifully together. Really enjoyed this cigar. It's an Ecuadorian Sumatra with a Piloto binder and a Dominican filler. Burn wise, a decent burn all the way through, a little bit of jag here, nothing big. Going through, this is a 2 hour and 5 minute smoke. So we really like it. A wave and a burn, slight bitterness in the final third, but had a really complex profile, especially in the flavor side. So don't forget, you can always get 15% off if you purchase anything from Platinum Nova by using the Boston Jimmy 15 code. As far as news goes, there was one news article this week. McAuliffe has released the McAuliffe A. They're releasing the McAuliffe A Gordo, which is an extension to the McAuliffe A line that is for their ambassadors. So this is the ambassador line that was named by the ambassadors, called the McAuliffe A. This one is a 6x60 with a Nicaraguan Maduro wrapper, a Sumatra binder, and Nicaraguan Dominican fillers. These are expected to hit the market on August 23rd, and they're being priced out at $9.50 a cigar. So if you like the A, here's your chance to get a Gordo in that version. So check that out. Check out McAuliffe. That's the news and reviews on Stogie Press this week. Okay, let's do a quick lightning round. I'm going to take you off mute. I'm asking you to unmute yourself. You got to unmute. There you go. All right. So, what is your favorite movie genre?
Drama.
Drama. Favorite drama then?
I don't know how you're going to react to this, but Once Upon a Time in America.
Okay.
If you consider that drama, if you consider that drama.
Okay. Keeping with the movie theme, then what is your favorite actor or actress?
Without going to their personal political inclinations, I would have to say, I'll just say one, Al Pacino.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with Al Pacino.
I mean, and right behind him, Robert De Niro as well.
Okay.
But I think Al Pacino. And I can also say Joe Pesci.
Oh.
Now I know that those aren't really actors, but I just like their portrayed persona. I would also say the guy that did. I'll give you a really good one that I think is fantastic. Is John Malkovich. And I happen to I had a beer with him one time, briefly, just by happenstance in the Georgetown in Washington D.C.
Yeah, my favorite is Jack Nicholson.
Speaking of which, I just saw Jack Nicholson with a bunch of women on his boat, and did you see that picture?
No.
See that?
That's Jack, man.
Typical Jack. Doesn't give a flying, and he's great, fantastic.
I'll tell you what I like about Jack more than anything, more than just his acting, is that when you look at a lot of his films that he gets in, he brings in, and I don't know if he has a voice in the casting or not. I imagine at his stature he does. He brings in some new actors and gives them the stage to go on, to follow him, okay, the supporting role. And he makes them look great, okay, all the time. And I give him great credit for that. I think he has such a passion for movie business that he can just make anybody, he can make you and I look great in a movie.
Let's not forget Anthony Hopkins.
You can go on and on and on. Brando. You go way back.
I didn't get a whole bunch of Brando. I'll just a little bit, into what I saw, but there's I think that as far as quality actors, John and being able to be as diverse as they are. John Malkovich is one of the ones that have been just absolutely perfect.
Barry Bones Argento says Denzel Washington.
I have to agree 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
An absolute gentleman. Just great. Everything that he puts forth is fantastic. Yeah. No
All right,
problem.
so let's go to the last question. So that tells us a little bit about you. Now, this one tells us everything about you. If you watch my show to the end, you know what's coming. If you haven't, well, then you're welcome to the club. Those that are watching it to the end know what's coming. No context to this question. Real simple answer. All right, you ready? And I gotta put you on spotlight for a second. Skirts or pantsuits?
Both.
Oh, that's the first time somebody said both. You're being very politically correct here. And I'll say it again because I say it at every show. I believe pantsuits because I believe that a woman can rock a pantsuit, they can rock a skirt, not necessarily the other way around.
That's why I said both. You know, we all come from a woman. It's the ultimate expression of love and beauty that was at God's hand, because God knows we are not it. The woman is the epitome of love, expression, and passion, regardless of whether we are from a male perspective or not. It's because we all come from one, and my mother is and always will be a cornerstone in my life for this life and for whatever's coming. So God bless all the women and all the women in this industry as well that need 100% recognition and support. They are
Awesome.
They are fantastic. And I have a daughter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a daughter too, and she's right here. My son, he's right here. So, all right. Well, I'm going to give you the last word before I close it out. So, whatever you want to say.
Thank you. Such a gentleman, such a privilege to be on with you. I see your, I've seen a lot of you. I've heard and watched you plenty of times. I congratulate you on your work and the amount of time it takes to do what you do. It's not an easy undertaking, and I congratulate you for it. I think that you have something of great value that you bring to people, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And we're very young in the business. We respect and honor all those that came before us, and we hope that we can make a difference and partake of the same passion that engulfs us all.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you to everybody for watching tonight. Gustavo Placeres, GFP Cigars, www.gfpcigars.com. Go check them out. If you're looking for some unique samplers, that's the place to go. If you're living somewhere where there is no shop near you, go check out GFP Cigars. Gustavo will hook you up because this guy, he's the man. And if he's going to pull off a Sunday night again where he spins some music, it's going to be an awesome event too.
We're coming soon. We're coming for you in a minute.
All right, bro. I'm going to have to tune into your show.
Such a pleasure. And also send me the link of how we can also support what you're doing. We definitely want to be a part of that.
Absolutely. We'll have a conversation. So thank you again, everybody. This is Boston Jimmy out. Stogie Press, peace. You all have a great weekend. And if you're living in Florida, watch out for, I guess it's Gale next or whatever. That's a terrible name for a storm. Gale. Think about that.
And prayers for all the people in Haiti.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot to mention that. Haiti. 7.2 earthquake. back-to-back tropical storms coming through. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. So.